episode of Let's Talk. I'm Ivy Hartman, and I'm joined by Jamie Ballantyne and Amber Clear. Ladies, welcome back. I mean, right?
Yes. It's always good to see you, ladies.
Well, I don't think we get enough quality time, and we love that we get to share it with y'all. So, we're heading into some summer months now, and here's my challenge to you. What are you loving? It can be about the season. It could be about life in general. Right now, can you do it in one word?
I am loving outside.
Nice.
Floating.
Hey!
Missouri staple, floating.
I love it. Kids is mine because I'm getting a little break from my job, my counseling job, but both my kids have moved home and are living with us. But ask me in a month or two what I think about having all of us in one house again. So that was it. Well, good. Well, we are going to be loving today's show because we are going to have an amazing guest with us on today's show. We've got Carol Daniel, who has transitioned from not just being on 28 years on KMOX, but is now working for the Urban League and doing a podcast. And we've always known Carol to just be busy.
Important.
Right.
Yeah, important. God, look at you. She's going with the one words. All right. So that's what we've got coming your way. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to get back into it with our award-winning journalist, author, producer, host, and director of the Save Our Sisters program, Carol Daniel. So don't go anywhere. You definitely won't want to miss this.
It's okay. Move.
911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened?
So your friend's not breathing.
She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Well, welcome back to Let's Talk. For over 100 years, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis has consistently worked to improve the lives of those in the area. And in 2018, Save Our Sisters was launched, a program offering wraparound services to support women from all backgrounds. And joining us now to talk more about this program is the one, the only, the director, Carol Daniel. Hi, Carol.
Hi, you guys. I'm so sad I'm not with you.
We're sad that you're not with us in studio also, but we're just happy you're here.
Yes, absolutely. We're happy to learn about Save Our
Thank you,
Sisters. Tell us all
ladies.
about it.
Yeah, tell us, Save Our Sisters.
I love what I'm doing. As someone who was a news anchor for 28 years at KMOX, I retired 2 years ago and was able to be blessed to land in a position working with the greatest CEO in St. Louis, and that is Michael P. McMillan. He is such a dynamic visionary and leader. So to work with him has been just an incredible journey. Save Our Sisters was meant to say to women that we see you, you matter, and we are going to help you where you are right now. And so my vision, Ivy, has been to help basically two groups of women. One is the women who are in immediate need. They're women who are homeless. Women tell us they feel unsafe. Women who are coming out of addiction or homelessness or imprisonment or any level of dysfunction, any kind of dysfunction. The other group of women, and there's more than two really, is women who are doing all right, but they want to do better and they want to be inspired to do so. And so my goal is to mentor those who need it and mentor the ones who really should be elevated to be able then to mentor others.
I know a lot of times when you think about support services, a lot of people think about just taking one group of people and just bringing them to the bare minimum. One thing I've noticed with the Urban League and specifically the Save Our Sisters program is you all are taking them to not just a livable level, right? You're taking them to the next level. Talk about what are some of those wraparound services that you offer?
Well, now you're talking about 22 other programs that help men and women, anyone who walks in the door, really. So someone who wants to start a business, we have a variety of programs to help them be an entrepreneur. A few days ago, we had a graduation of young men and women who are getting into energy careers, a 6-week certification program, partnering with utility companies. We are taking people from just existing hopelessness to actual thriving careers, a sense of control of their lives, which leads to hope and to dignity. So a person can come in whose utilities are about to be shut off, and we will help you with that. A person can come in who wants to be a homeowner, and we will put you on the path to that. We also, my friends, have an AT&T center. If you're having computer problems, you don't know how to check your email, Grandma,
Right.
you can come in and we will help you with that as well.
So you're servicing all
wherever
ages.
they are, Jamie, we are taking them to the next level, up and up and up. And with Save Our Sisters, we are trying to inspire women. Number one, you can't be what you can't see,
Right.
and you can't be what you can't even hope for. So we want to reinstill hope in people. And I want to tell you that the reason I'm not with you, I will say, is I have a torn meniscus, so I can barely walk. So the last month or so, I've been limping into the Urban League. And when you walk into the building, these are the headquarters on Kings Highway, I don't get 10 feet and there's not someone asking me, can I carry your bag? Can I help you? 350 employees all have the same vision, that we will help you, we will help each other, we will receive you with respect and with joy, because we are here for you. And so it starts with that attitude as an employee, as a staff member, and then that infects and infiltrates everything that we do, whether it is utility assistance, food. We have a pantry on site, of course, as you know, at Kings Highway. Housing seniors. We've taken them from homelessness, from a building that was destroyed, to a beautiful new building in Delwood. So, Jamie, we're trying to attack the problem from every single angle. Although truly we can only do so much, and we need more help, more determination to do even more.
But with Save Our Sisters, you're doing things that are really to help nurture inner power and foster self-confidence so that women specifically can emerge stronger and more knowledgeable and fearless. And so you're doing that with self-care things, but also mentorship. And so how many women have come through the program, and talk about the level of volunteer efforts that you need in terms of doing some of that lifting for Save Our Sisters?
I have to be honest with you that when I started this position, I'm celebrating 41 years as a journalist.
Right.
I feel like I've always been an activist. My character, my DNA is to be an encouraging human being. And so I've always been that. And so to be in this mission now, but to realize I'm not an event planner. I am not even terribly organized. But there's such a great staff around me. And so when you ask the question of actual numbers, I'll break it down in this way.
Yeah.
We have a mailing list, a growing mailing list of women who have come to events in 6 months of 500.
Wow.
We help, I can promise you, thousands of women. The women who come through Save Our Sisters, Save Our Sons workforce program is in the thousands. And we overlap with workforce because they recognized some time ago that certainly we can get you into a position where you're able to be employed, gainfully employed, and then help you to upskill.
Yes.
But we recognized some time ago that we also need to touch the heart and expand the mind so that you can see yourself always in a place of calm and control. So I don't have the exact numbers of how many we've helped. I really don't have that for you, but it is honestly safe to say it's in the thousands.
Thousands is what we heard. So I was like, we'll go with that.
Yeah, and not only are they helping the people
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
they're helping the people that directly come to their facility, but it has a ripple effect to everyone that those people who come to that facility, everyone that they go out and touch, because these people are thriving. So
Generationally.
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
You mentioned mentoring. Talk about, I've seen you in the space. I don't know if you've ever not mentored somebody. So anytime I see you at an event, I feel like someone's always pulling you to just gain knowledge, have
Yes.
a conversation,
Yes.
right? And I've really seen you hands-on, find someone, connect with someone that's even in distress. Talk about the mentoring piece of Save Our Sisters, and why is that so important for the organization right now?
That is a great question. I remember being out at, I think I was at Dillard's or something. My mom was in town visiting, and my sons were with me, and they were younger. They were probably under the age of 12 or so. And that oldest one is 29 now. This is how long ago that was. And some people saw me, they recognized me, and I don't know what the conversation was about, but someone ends up in tears. And I look over her shoulder. I can see my mother looking, maybe annoyed is the word. And so later on, she said to me, couldn't they tell that you were with your mother? And I said, I don't think they did know that. They just knew I was out and they saw me. And so, Jamie, it is true. Wherever I am, wherever I go, I'm leaving this house, and I'm getting, I could get emotional now, but I'm leaving this house with an open heart. The scripture, to whom much is given, much is required, is a foundational principle for me. And I know when people think of that, they probably think of finances, nice home, cars, plenty of shoes, vacations. And that's not the much to me, in the whom much is given. That's not the much for me. The much for me is, despite any instability I have ever experienced in my life, and I've been homeless, I've been evicted, I was fired twice in my life. I was in 2 terrible relationships in my life. I've been married for 30 years now, happily. But despite all of that I have gone through, I always felt that I had something to give. And I always felt that I had a message innate of joy to pass along. And so I'm always ready with a word, ready with a correction, ready with advice. Yeah. And Ivy, you'll love this. I've been known to say that I may not know who can help you, but just give me 3 phone calls and I'll find the person who can help you. And now that I'm at the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, the best urban league in the entire country, I don't need 3 phone calls. I can go next door to my office mate, or I can go down the hall to someone. I'm in an agency that can help you with whatever you need. And so I'm not formally mentoring, although people over the years, Jamie, have asked me to do that. And I honestly get the sense sometimes people may see me as a pseudo celebrity. That's how I see myself. And they want to be close to that. Mm-hmm. And so I question the intention.
Well, I think
I will encourage you.
I think they want
I absolutely
to get
will have
to know
a conversation with you. I'll go back and forth emails. We can have phone calls. So I'm ready to mentor anyone at any time.
And anybody who's on the radio or television for as long as you have been, Carol, feel like they know you anyway. So they feel like they can catch up with you. So speaking of getting to know you, we're going to take a quick break, but I want everybody to stay with us because we're going to get to know Carol Daniel a whole lot more when we come back. So stay with us.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Well, welcome back to Let's Talk. Well, we've been talking with Carol Daniel, the director of the Save Our Sisters program offered by the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, but you might also know her from her 28 years on KMOX. KMOX. Got the right letters. And then, of course, writing for The American. And now she's doing a podcast with 9 PBS. Carol, you retired after decades, in the industry. Did you ever wake up and go, oh yeah, now I feel retired?
No, Ivy.
She's got the energy that can't stop. She's got to constantly give
That's
back
a
to the
great question
community.
in that way, because I do feel in a crazy way more control of my output. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that you said that, because when I was thinking about you doing this Listen St. Louis podcast, and although I have yet to listen to your podcast, I have been listening to St. Louis, and really the premise is about Black voices in St. Louis. And so I thought, now that you're not having to worry about what your news director is saying or all these other things, now you have this freedom to be like, hey, St. Louis, this is really what it's like. Is that accurate?
Well, in a way it is. I do still have to concern myself with my image and with what I say out into the public sphere, because both of the organizations that I work for are nonprofits. And 9 PBS is still a media organization, and the Urban League is a nonprofit organization. So I still cannot just wild out.
Except for, okay, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh,
you wanted to.
No, I was just going to say, I feel that, I was going to say, since your retirement, I felt like I've seen you more. And the one episode of the podcast where you had Vincent Llewellyn on there, I felt like it was so open, so raw. I felt like I was sitting at a table, like at a kitchen table, and I wasn't supposed to be there listening at you all's like raw conversation. It was so open. And I think a lot of times when we think about podcasts that are associated with nonprofits or such a dynamic organization like 9 PBS, while yes, it still is in tune with the organization, it was raw, it was uncut, it was informational, it was emotional. Like, talk about your experience of journalism and how you're able to really get that out of people, because as long as I've known Vincent, I know he's not a shy guy, but I've never heard him in conversation like that before.
Great question, great thought process. When I first started the podcast, Vincent, Jamie, was one of the first people that I talked to, and I said to him, one day we're going to sit down and have a conversation. I did not know his coming out story, if you will. I never knew it. He'd just always been my friend. But in terms of having raw conversations, and then from a journalistic standpoint, I wanted to have the conversations that I always wanted to hear. So I could go deeper. I could ask the questions that I felt were on the hearts of others, and just be open. And I'm a good listener. My husband may not agree.
Well,
I think you have that safe energy that lets people divulge things to you because it's a judgment-free zone, and you want them to be shining and positive and just open.
I hope so. I interviewed a gentleman who has misdiagnosed as a schizophrenic and then correctly diagnosed as having bipolar disorder. And I just interviewed him. It's at 9pbs.org on our YouTube channel. And he said to me that in terms of advice that people with bipolar should surround themselves with positive people. Prior to the interview, he said he was nervous. And I said, I hope you feel nothing but positive energy from me. And that's who I am, and that's who we all ought to be. And I hope that my podcast, my work with 9 PBS, and my work with the Urban League calls us to higher thinking. I mean, you can have deeper thinking that will lead to higher thinking. If you ask deeper questions.
Yeah. I want to know how you maintain
honestly.
that without burnout. Because you're
go ahead,
touching
say
so
that
many
again.
things. I want to know how you maintain that level without burnout, because you are touching so many things and so many people that it's got to be exhausting on some level.
I feel so free.
You said that again. Yeah.
No burnout. I'm tired. My husband says you're working harder than ever before, but I think you're happier.
Yep. It's almost like you're doing the work that you is of the heart, right? And that call, right?
Mission.
And you talked about the scripture and speaking of a life path. And I feel like I tell people all the time, life is a journey. You just take the next right path and the next step. And you've done this amazing journey, married for 30 years. And then 2 grown sons. So talk to us. What do you need us to know about being a boy mom, having the same partner for over 3 decades, and having an illustrious career, right? And having that all come to fruition.
This career is not something I accomplished by myself at all. There's so many people along the way that held my hand, that gave me direction, that helped me when I was back against the wall or felt back against the wall. So many people. You don't do it on your own. I've always disliked the "by your own bootstraps" phrase because you made the money, somebody paid you to buy the boots, or you don't have boots at all. Somebody donates the boots. What if you don't have the strength to pull them up? Somebody has to help. I mean, I have a pair of boots, y'all, that I can't get off by myself. My husband has to help me take these boots off, right? So there's help with the boots. I've had help. My husband and I have survived and thrived in our marriage because of help. We took classes. We had therapy. We found the right church. We surrounded ourselves with like-minded couples. Things were broken, and we made a decision to fix them. And in our age now, I'm 63, he's 60, he'll be 63 soon. We are still making a decision. How are we going to go into the sunset? How are we going to parent grown? And I have to rephrase that.
Yeah.
You're no longer parenting grown people, right? I heard a guest on an Oprah show say, "You're now their advisor."
It's so true.
And so how do you advise grown people? So and being a boy mom, I love their strength. I love their curiosity for life. I like them. They're interesting men. They are talented. They're handsome, as you can see.
Oh, absolutely. How could they not be?
Photo there. They're handsome. And they're single.
Okay, so things that we've learned today. Carol's a cougar, and she's
No.
some great young men.
No, we're only a few months.
Okay. Apart. Oh my gosh, Carol, let's bring it back a minute, because I want to know how our viewers can how they can listen to you on your podcast, and I want to know how they can get involved with Save Our Sisters.
Number one, ulstl.com. Find the Urban League on all social media, ULSTL.
Yep.
Facebook and Instagram. You can give in this day and age, of course, with budget cuts. The need is great. The resources are there. We just have to make a decision with the resources we have, how you're going to share them. 9pbs.org is the website. The podcast is on YouTube. It is called Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel. And all the podcasts I've done for a year and a half are on the website on YouTube. So you can go back and watch that one with Vincent. You can watch one about the Great Migration. We have a Black History Month series we've done in partnership with the Missouri Historical Society. So just go to 9pbs.org or just Google the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis.
Well, Carol.
And we want you to volunteer, but Ivy, let me say that I really want women to come.
Yes.
When you hear I'm having an event, a panel discussion, just come and fill your cup.
Oh, well said. Well, thank you for coming and sharing a cup with us, proverbially. And we really enjoyed the time we got to spend with you, Jamie, Amber, and I. Oh, and you're cheersing us. Thank you for that so much. Learning more about the Save Our Sisters program, the Urban League of St. Louis. You can visit them at ulstl.com. And of course, there's a little bit more here with Let's Talk with me, Jamie, and Amber when we come back, so don't go anywhere.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes. And way over here, busy moms. No?
Well, I want to say we have been so fortunate to be able to spend time with the Carol Daniel, and her being retired, right? But I think one thing I've learned from some other women that I've been hanging out with is that we all need to have friends in multi-generations. Have you found that to be true in your lives?
I think it's always been a thing for me. I have a sibling that is 20 years older than me. And so I've always kind of felt connected to generation up, 2 generations up, generation down. And I think when you think about mentoring, I feel like it's mentoring across. There is no always looking up to somebody. Have the people that are looking up to you help you in ways as well.
Having a multi-generational support system is so important because it empowers us to be let known by the generation above us that they have also went through this and made it. And then we in turn feel more empowered when we turn to the next generation and say, I've been where you are, you're gonna get here too, like, let's go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We had so much fun on today's show. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. And we want to thank our guest, Carol Daniel with Save Our Sisters and the Urban League. And I want to thank you at home for joining us as well. The show may be over, but you can always find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube, or visit us just right on STLTV.com. .net. It's STLTV.net, y'all. I'm Ivy Hartman for Amber Clear and Jamie Ballantyne, and we will see you next time on Let's Talk.